Have you ever thought about the connection between a fish swimming in the ocean, the air that you're breathing right now, and, well, your own soul? It sounds kind of like a riddle, right? But today, we're going to unpack this incredible analogy that ties them all together. Okay, let's get into it. So let me just ask you this. Picture a fish, just gliding through the water. Have you ever considered that, in a really fundamental way, you're not all that different from it? Sounds a little weird, I know, but trust me, it's the key to this whole thing. All right, so how on earth could we, walking around on land, be anything like a fish? Well, the answer isn't about what we can see, it's about what we don't see. So here's the crazy parallel. A fish is completely surrounded by water, right? It's literally everything to the fish, its whole world. But the fish doesn't think about it. It doesn't notice it. It just exists in it. Well, that's exactly like us in the air. We are totally surrounded by it, completely dependent on it. I mean, we would die in minutes without it. But really, how often do you stop and even realize it's there? And that leads us to this incredible idea. See, we're not just living on a planet. We're actually living at the bottom of a huge, invisible ocean. An ocean of air. That's right. The atmosphere, it's not just empty space around us. It's a real, tangible thing. It's a life-giving fluid, just like water is for that fish. We, for all practical purposes, creatures of the atmosphere, perfectly built to swim through this sea of gas. And get this, that invisible ocean is heavy, like really heavy. The weight of the air pressing down on just your shoulders, from the top of the atmosphere all the way down, is about 1 ton. So, why aren't we just completely crushed? Well, it's because our bodies are perfectly designed to push back with the same amount of pressure. It's this incredible, perfect balance that we never, ever have to think about. And this ocean of air is no accident. It's this perfectly balanced shield of gases. If that mix of nitrogen and oxygen, or the pressure itself, was off by just a little bit, breathing would be impossible. Life couldn't exist. When you see that level of fine-tuning, that intricate design, it really makes you think. It's hard to believe it's all just random chance. Okay, so what happens when we try to leave our natural home? What happens when we, just like a fish out of water, decide to climb up into the sky? Well, science actually has a word for it: hypoxia. It's pretty simple, really. As you go higher up, the air gets thinner, the pressure drops, and there's just less oxygen in every breath you take. Your body starts to get starved of the oxygen it needs to survive. And this is where that fish analogy stops being just a cool idea and becomes a very real physical fact. You take a fish out of water and it gasps, it suffocates. A person climbing high into the sky, they do the same thing. They begin to gradually suffocate as their lungs just can't get enough oxygen. The parallel isn't just poetic, it's literal. Okay, but here's the part that is just absolutely mind-blowing. This very specific scientific fact, that feeling of your chest getting tight, of suffocating as you climb higher and higher, was described with unbelievable accuracy long before we ever had the science to prove it. We're talking more than 1,400 years ago, long before hot air balloons, before airplanes, before anyone really knew anything about atmospheric pressure. This exact feeling was written down. Just listen to these words. The verse is talking about what it feels like to be misguided, and it uses this physical metaphor, the feeling of your chest becoming tight and constricted. But it doesn't just stop there. It gives the exact context, as though he were climbing into the sky. It's unbelievably specific. And the precision of the language here is just breathtaking. The Arabic word used isn't simply climbing. It's a special word, yasad, that means to climb with great difficulty, with a struggle, with strain. It perfectly describes the physical fight for every single breath that happens when you're suffering from hypoxia at a high altitude. But this verse isn't just dropping a cool scientific fact. It's using this physical reality to teach us something much, much deeper. It's making a direct connection between the constriction of our bodies and the constriction of our souls. Now look at the beautiful contrast in the very same verse. What's the opposite of being misguided and constricted? It's being guided. And what does that feel like? The verse says it's an expansion of the breast. It's an openness. It's like finally being able to take a full, deep, easy breath. So this is where it all comes together. This is the final layer of the analogy. Leaving our physical atmosphere, our ocean of air, leads to a deadly physical tightness. And in the exact same way, leaving God's guidance, the spiritual atmosphere for our soul, leads to a deadly spiritual tightness. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? The profound truth behind the whole analogy. Air isn't an option for our bodies, it's a necessity. And what this verse is telling us is that faith, that connection with God, isn't just an option for the soul, it is its very breath. When you think about it like this, it kind of shifts your whole perspective. It makes you want to be more aware, more grateful for all the things that keep us going, both the things we see and the things we don't. So true freedom, it's not about escaping the things we depend on. It's not about a fish trying to jump out of the water. It's about recognizing that our entire existence is a gift, held in this perfect, delicate balance by these environments, the physical air for our lungs and the spiritual air for our souls. And so we'll end with this amazing thought, a single, scientific, observable fact. The tightness you feel in your chest when you climb too high was made to be a physical sign, a real-world reminder of a much deeper spiritual truth. It's a perfect connection between the world we can measure and the world we can only feel.